There's no shortage of weather myths and misconceptions to talk about. In fact, I've already debunked several in previous segments. For this go-around, I'll be covering winter weather, clearing up some buzzwords, and answering one of the most requested questions I get as a meteorologist. Is it going to snow? That comes later, but first,
Punxsutawney Phil!
Since 1887, Punxsutawney Phil has been forecasting winter's arrival, or at least attempting to. His track record isn't the best, with roughly an accurate prediction only 40% of the time. You'd be better off flipping a coin with closer to 50% accuracy. But what do you expect taking weather advice from a rodent with no formal science education? Next up is the polar vortex. It's quite a name, one that makes headlines whenever a big blast of cold air comes down from the north.
The polar vortex.
It's nothing new. Its name dates back to the mid-1800s to describe a persistent area of low pressure and cold air high up in the atmosphere at both the north and south poles. The vortex bit refers to the constant counterclockwise flow of air to keep that cold air locked in near the poles, most of the time. Sometimes during winter, that usually stable vortex weakens and becomes wavy, allowing for cold Arctic air to surge southward as the jet stream buckles into the United States. This isn't rare, but it does lead to our coldest days. Okay, but what about the snow? One of the most common statements I see is whenever snow is mentioned is that since the Lowcountry saw a hurricane this year, we'll see snow. This assumption likely originates from our biggest snow on record occurring just after Hugo in 1989. This was just a coincidence, as there is no link between Hugo and that historic snow several months later. But what if we looked at a bigger picture? There is some research being done at my alma mater to determine what, if any, impacts an active hurricane season has on the following winter. On paper, it makes sense. Hurricanes and other tropical systems bring a lot of heat to the poles, taking away established cold air, which winter will then have to make up, resulting in less snow after active hurricane seasons, more snow after less active hurricane seasons. So like a good scientist, I tested out my hypothesis, looking at 115 years of data we have for Charleston. After cross-checking the 20 winters we have seen measurable snow to the intensity of that hurricane season, the results supported that a less active hurricane season results in more years with snow, occurring 50% more often than winters following an active season. So while there is a trend, it is likely not as significant as other major weather patterns which are proven to impact snowfall amounts, such as El Nino and La Nina. By the way, the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season was above average. Draw your own conclusions there, but certainly don't think just because we saw a hurricane hit us means we'll be blessed or cursed with snow this year. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Storm Team 2 meteorologist David Dixon.